Boom! Welcome into Sportsbook Betting Insight today, Tuesday, March 28th. Pauly and Teddy, SBRpicks.com, big game breakdown. Spurs and the Wizards and the Bucks start a big West Coast road trip against the Clippers. Rob Vino to talk baseball, two-parter. Part one today, great information, and we turn on the shot clock and the play of the day before we get out of here. Bad beats, bad bets, bad for the books. Great job by Fultz. He's back. The shot wasn't hideous like we've seen previous videos before. With his horrible form, he had 10 points and 8 assists, and once again, the Sixers ran somebody out in the second half. 16-1 run straight up at home. They were down at the half and then blitzed the Nuggets. This was a bad bet and bad for the books because the Nuggets took money, but they steamed that over big time, Teddy.
Yeah. Denver bet from +6 to +4.5. That was a bad bet. Obviously, Philly ran him out of the gym. Although the Fultz information, again, we previewed this game on the show yesterday. The Fultz information was not out. So I'm not surprised Denver took money. That being said, the Nuggets money all wrong side. The over was the right side. Bettors cashed in there, certainly on that one. And when we talk about those second half runs for Philadelphia, last two games coming out of halftime, worth noting, second half bettors. 20-4 run out of the gate in the third quarter against the T-Wolves. 20-5 run out of the gate in the third quarter against the Nuggets last night. That is two blowouts over two playoff teams. All of a sudden, Philly's getting really, really interesting. You mentioned with Fultz back in the lineup, the number one overall pick. Philly, there's no dominant team in the Eastern Conference. Maybe the 76ers are that team. They certainly played like it last night.
And they have 7 guys in double figures, something like that. They have weapons, man, and they're tough. And again, they got to sit people because it was a blowout. Bad for the books. Just get the win and get out of there. Celtics Suns 210 down to 207. Celtics win again without Kyrie.
Yeah, I mean, the heavy steam on the under in that ball game. Not like Phoenix is doing anything. So it's a matter of how Boston wants to play it. And the Celtics, a classic example of a team. All they want to do right now is grind out wins and move on. Even with all the injuries, Brad Stevens had 10 different players get at least 16.5 minutes of playing time last night. Game stays under. Steam came in on the under. That's a bad result for the bookmaker.
How about Tankapalooza? What happened to the T-Wolves? 14-point favorites at home, lost to the Grizzlies and scored 11 points in the fourth quarter. The Knicks went to overtime against Charlotte, so that didn't work last night, at least an ATS standpoint. And then if you've been, you parlay some of these big favorites on the money line, you got burned with Memphis.
Yeah, I mean, it was not a good night to fade the tankers in the NBA. As you mentioned, the Knicks going to overtime as double-digit dogs. The Grizzlies with a straight-up win as double-digit dogs. The Suns with the point spread cover as double-digit dogs, all against trying to make the playoffs or trying for their playoff seeding type of teams. The betting markets are the great equalizer, Pauly, and even the worst teams are going to cover some point spreads.
Amen, brother. Playoffs start April 11th. How about a little hockey? And they're taking a bath here in Las Vegas with a local team. More on that in a second. The Kings were bet up from $2 to $2.60. The public likes to play that. Well, they have to win, right? And they beat Calgary 3-0, a dead team there, LA at home. Two teams, though, were $3 in the NHL, and they lost. Toronto and Tampa Bay, both at home. They got beat. So careful out there laying that big wood as you went down in flames. And it's official with the win last night against Colorado, 4-1. They were as high as 10-1 to make the playoffs. The Golden Knights have 104 points, whatever it is. They clinch a playoff spot. They have a 6-point lead over San Jose with 6 left. They were as high as 200-1 to win the division, Teddy.
Yeah, I mean, 100-1 widely available to win the division. Yes. But we got to talk about the two big chalks that went down. Toronto and Tampa Bay, both -$3. Neither one comes away with a victory. When you start getting into those $3 ranges, whether it's baseball, whether it's hockey, tread carefully. I'll just leave it like that. Last night, a very bad night for chalk layers in the NHL, with the exception of all those who are on the Kings. That's a bad result for the books.
And if you have deep pockets and you know your hockey, come out to Vegas. William Hill offering yes-no props on the Knights to win the conference and the Stanley Cup. Mercy, expansion team, 100 points and 100-1, 200-1 to win the division. It's 500-1 to win the cup. at some spots before the season started. Huge night in the NBA coming up next. For the first time since 2005, this late in the season, we have 6 games with playoff contenders going head-to-head. We'll get to that coming up on Sportsbook 2.0 on SBR Picks. Betting Insight today, Pauly and Teddy straight ahead.
Like the show? Help us keep the lights on. Please make sure to comment, share, and subscribe to all the Sportsbook Review videos. Thanks so much. Best of luck. Enjoy the game.